Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is our year to shine. My name is Carolyn and I hope you're having a great holiday weekend. I'm coming to you today for September's Extreme Self-Care Challenge from Cheryl Richardson's book of that title. And this one is called Tune-Up Time. So let's see what that is about. The foundation of good life is good health. While the concept of extreme self-care can be applied to all areas of your life, career, spiritual, well-being, relationships, and so on, what supports each of us in all of these areas is the care that you provide for the amazing vehicle that takes you through life. Now we know what that means, right? It's a tune-up for the body. So how well are you taking care of yourself, I would think, is a question that she's going to discover. So, taking stock of your health. Maybe you need to sit down and write out how you're doing in certain areas. Maybe it's time to actually have some tests done that your doctor said you needed to do, or you kind of know that you need to do based on where you're at in your life or what you haven't had a follow-up on in a while. And you'll probably know if you tune in to your body and your intuition some of the things that are going on, like why do I have that pain in that certain area, things like that. So is there a health-related issue that you're concerned about is the first question to ask. And is there something about your physical appearance that you feel self-conscious about? Maybe what could you do about that? Are you overdue for a routine maintenance appointment? Just like with your car, you have to sort of do things on a schedule, right? Have you had a complete physical in the last year? When was the last time you had an eye exam? Is a trip to the dentist in the offering? How is your back? Have you been going to a chiropractor, or have you made an appointment with a massage therapist lately? Are you happy with your hair, or do you need to see a professional stylist to get a fresh cut and color? Have you had a manicure or a pedicure lately? How about a facial? Is it time for a mammogram or prostate screening? If you are like me and you have a planner, these are good things to put into your planning system so that if you know that every year you go to the dermatologist in October or have your mammogram in December or whatever you go to, then it's in there and you can remind yourself to make those appointments a few months in advance, or maybe even make them like when you go for one, make the one for the following year so that it's already scheduled. Get the care that you deserve. Yeah. You know, sometimes I was talking to somebody recently who said something like her doctor didn't take her seriously, and every time she mentions, this was like something like swelling in the hand, she said, oh, they just act like I'm crazy, they won't send me for anything. And I just said to her, you need to get a new doctor. You know, if I tell my doctor anything, and maybe it's because my insurance covers most things, but if I tell the doctor anything, she'll be like, all right, well, you're going for this test and I've given you a referral to this, and like, I mean, there's just no question. I've never had, and even if it was something that, like I said to a doctor where I said, you know, my sister mentioned this and can we just check it out? Then usually they do it. There might be a discussion of like, well, I don't think that your symptoms really add up to that, but sure, we can rule it out. So if your doctor is not listening to you and especially not taking you seriously, then it's time to consider switching doctors, in my opinion anyway. So if you decide to overcome and face your fear of going to the doctor, it might be a fear, right? Or just having the tune-up, because maybe you just know that there's going to be something wrong and you don't want to know it, or you're just in denial and you don't want to take the steps to fix it. Well, here are some important extreme self-care guidelines that will support you. So take charge of your health. The first thing you need to know when you're practicing extreme self-care is that it pertains to the body, as it pertains to the body, is that you have to take full responsibility for your health. No more relying solely on doctors and healthcare professionals to tell you what to do. That's true as well. So maybe you go in to see your doctor and then they're saying, I think we should do surgery on this, or I think you should take medicine. It seems like they often are like pushing the medicine, right? But you might know of an alternate healing, or you might feel like, well, I could completely change my diet and fix this thing so that I don't have to have medicine. So I think that's what Cheryl's saying here. She says, over the years, I've become quite an avid health enthusiast. I love learning about new ways to care for my body, mind, and spirit. So that's true. You have to take ownership. Like, say you find out you have prediabetes or something that's like on the edge of becoming a real condition that you might need medicine for. Well, do some research and figure out what options are out there. Or maybe there's a specialist that can work with you if you really don't want it to become a long-term condition. And so some of that involves doing research, reading books, talking to maybe a second opinion, finding a support group that might, be about that particular condition. So she does talk about the things that you are putting into your body too. Like, she is a proponent of choosing organic things whenever possible, and she loves learning about medical breakthroughs as well, and she likes to read about lifestyle choices and longevity and how there's a correlation between that. I suppose that could definitely give you hope too if you're trying to extend the length of your life. Yeah. So becoming an educated and experienced patient takes time and commitment, but it's worth the investment, she says. And secondly, listen to your body. Yeah. I wonder if you really sat down and say you do the list where you're asking yourself questions. Are you really tuned in to your body? Like, if I just think right now about how I'm sitting, my posture could be definitely better. I'm thinking like right now I have like a shoulder tension spot that I like to get massaged because it hurts, but like I'm not conscious of it until I actually like think what is bugging me right now. Like that shoulder thing is the biggest thing. But so I'm not really listening to my body until I tune into it. So I should probably listen to my body more. So many of us live from the neck up. Yeah. We're so overwhelmed by all that we must do. As a result, we end up we just miss important signals from the body that provide us with valuable information. So yeah, tune into that and get a sense. So here are some questions, just like that other one had some questions. Are you hungry? If so, what does your body really need to feel nourished? Are you tired? Have you had enough sleep? Do you need to go to the bathroom? You'd be amazed at how many people ignore this important signal. And I'm only laughing because I work so hard at work that sometimes I think I have to go to the bathroom, and then I just don't get up and do it. And then it's an hour later and I'm like, I had to go to the bathroom an hour ago. Like, why don't I go? So yeah, I should be listening to my body more rather than making it wait. It just never seems like there's enough time, but I don't know. I need to be better about that. So it just made me laugh a little bit. Is there tension, discomfort, or stress anywhere? Mentally scan your body from head to toe. What part of your body feels weak or tired? And what part of it feels strong? So that's a good thing. Like, not just only thinking about the negative, but thinking about like, wow, I feel like I could lift something really heavy right now because my biceps feel really strong, or whatever. Do you notice any emotions connected to your body? That's an important thing too. She says, for example, do you feel a sense of dread in the pit of your stomach about a meeting you need to attend, or a sense of warmth and excitement in your heart at the memory of a recent encounter with a loved one? Yeah, there is so much that can be wrapped up in the body and mind and soul connection. And there are healing modalities out there that really try to unravel trauma and other things that are somewhat stuck in the body, in the muscles, in the organs. Remember I mentioned that Louise Hay book, You Can Heal Your Life, and how she did research, and she has that whole list of things where you might look up your liver, or you might look up an earache or something like that, and then she has an affirmation and a reason of something going on that might be like, maybe you're afraid in one situation, or you're scared, or there's like an inability to let go. So she's actually done a lot of research and come up with this list of conditions and organs and things where you might store certain emotions or experiences in your body. So there's a whole science to that. The more you practice tuning into your body, the more you'll respond to its needs in a wise and intelligent way. Yeah. It's so easy to forget to do that, right? Yeah. Choose health partners, not parents. Okay, so this is more about what I was saying about, like, find the right doctor for yourself. Go out and, I don't know if you could do this because maybe your insurance would only let you have one appointment a year or something for a big, what's the word, like a physical, your annual physical, but maybe you can actually just go in and have an appointment with a doctor to actually talk to them, find out what their manner is like, and talk to friends. That's actually how I found my doctor's office about 10 years ago. It's like I just asked some people, and even though it's still almost an hour to get there, really, from door to door from where I live now, and even longer from where I used to live, I just want to keep going to that doctor's office because I feel like I'm heard there. I feel like everything is like within the umbrella of that particular office as well. Like they have outshoots of like, imaging and blood labs and things like that are all over. So once you find a good place, maybe you can tell your friends too if there is a good place. Okay. So yeah, let's see what she says about the old days of giving your power away to healthcare professionals are over. Yeah. So don't just do what they say if it doesn't feel right, or if you feel like you need a second opinion, or you might not be like a big mainstream medical person. Maybe that's your primary care, but when they tell you something, you could go see a specialist or somebody that is sort of outside the box that might have nutritional or herbal experiences or something like that could help you in a different way. Because like I said, I think the allopathic approach is a lot of times to push medicine on you, and maybe you don't want to do that. Or maybe you do. I can't say anything bad about medicine. I resisted it for so long, for one thing, in my life, and now that I can just eat whatever I want now, and I think, why didn't I just take this medicine years and years ago? Because I put myself through so much trying to like heal my digestive system on my own, and I just couldn't do it. So medicine actually, I'm like, bring on the meds in that case. So but I had to come around to that to myself and sort of reconcile the fact that sometimes you do need medicine. So you have to sit with what feels right. And then some of it goes from experience too, because if you're in a situation like me and you take medicine and it works, then you might say, well, it worked for me that other time, so maybe I'll listen to the doctor in this case too. Okay, and there are some questions with this one too. What's your basic philosophy when it comes to health? Can you describe your ideal patient, client, doctor, client, relationship? How available are you to your clients and patients? What's the best way to communicate with you? That's true. So say you do go to a specialist and it's a really small office, and then they are only open a day or two a week or something, and then you just know that you can't really reach that practitioner easily because there's so few hours, so you kind of have to think about those things as well. How long do you intend to be with this practice? And then, in addition to asking these questions, be sure to pay attention to the quality of your experience when you do see someone, and ask yourself, so this would be kind of on that interview, like I was saying, how did I feel about the office environment? Was the staff friendly and pleasant enough for my taste? Did I have to wait longer than I would have liked? That's a good point. Sometimes you do. And was I informed of the wait time ahead of time? Yeah, that can be annoying especially if you took time off from work or something, and then you're sitting there for another hour, and yeah. Was my privacy respected and protected? That's very important. Did I feel comfortable asking questions? That's true. Did you feel like the person was just trying to get on to the next patient? Like, okay, oh yeah, are you done? Or did you feel like they actually were like relaxed and present in the moment and listening to you, and you could ask anything that came up? That's really important. And did I feel, yeah, this is just what I said, did I feel relaxed or rushed? Do I receive return calls within a time frame that feels comfortable to me? That's important too. And it's just like I said, maybe you are going to an office that doesn't have a lot of hours. Sorry, I have some kind of an itch here. I'm being aware of my body here. I have an itch. Maybe the office takes a while to get back to you because it's a really small staff or something like that. So there has to be trade-offs, because maybe that particular practitioner is amazing, and when you do get to connect with them, they feel perfect, so you kind of, bend a little bit on your expectations. Overall, I think if you have a primary doctor, though, that at least maybe that office is open a lot and you can get what you need, and then if you do see a specialist on the side, maybe you have to pay out of pocket for that, but they're like a adjunct or additional sort of care to your primary. Anyway, that's just my thought, but everybody has a different view of it. Once you found the right doctor, dentist, hairstylist, esthetician, etc., you need to become a responsible partner, someone who recognizes that it's ultimately your responsibility to take care of your body. That's true. They might not remind you, oh, it's time for this or that for your tests or shots or something like that. So that means planning questions ahead of time too. I like that suggestion. I usually have a written list because I don't want to ever forget to ask my doctor something if I'm there. Knowing the products or equipment that will be used on your body and being clear about your needs so that you can convey them directly. Yeah, so say they tell you that you're going to have this particular procedure. Even if you can't speak to your doctor about it, there's usually a nurse or someone, an assistant person who you can call and speak to. And I'm assuming that like a hospital per se might let you go and see the equipment ahead of time. And also, like, say you show up for your appointment and you're about to do it and all of a sudden you have this really bad feeling, or you just know it's not a good day to do it. Well, there's nothing forcing you to do something at that moment. Maybe they'll charge your insurance or something, or there'll be a penalty fee, but just try to listen to your gut, again, like she said about the gut, but just try to listen to what feels right and what might not feel right. And finding the right emotional support, that's true. There is something to be said for the bedside manner. If you're just going in and the doctor is just acting so cold and not listening to you, or even like acting like your questions are dumb, or you're being a hypochondriac, or just any sort of feeling like that, that's not going to be supportive for your self-care. You want to feel heard, whether they think it's a ridiculous thing or not. You want to feel like they're there to support you on every level. I mean, I've cried in doctor's offices before, and that can definitely be a challenge for some personalities, but fortunately, in most cases, I have found that the practitioners are very understanding. And so that to me tells me that I found a good place in that case, where I need sometimes, like, I don't need them to hug me or wipe my tears or anything, but I need them to acknowledge that either I'm scared or frustrated, and for them to honor that, and for us to have a quick discussion about it. And then know what you need to know and when you need to know it. Whenever I have a test done on my body, Cheryl says, she always wants to do the following. Find out exactly how long it will take to get the results. That's true. You don't want to sit and wait for forever. Or if you know they're going to be ready, you don't want the practitioner forget to call you, and then you're sitting around for a month and you don't know what the results are. Like, sometimes you can actually become a portal member of a hospital or a lab where you will get the results and you're not waiting on your doctor to call you with them. You might not know how to read the reports, but at least having them in hand, because sometimes the doctor's office will call you, they'll be like, everything looked great, or they'll like, this number looked high or whatever, but then they don't tell you anything about the other results. And if you're like me and you know I like paper and you know I like organization, then you might want to have a copy of those things so that you can look and see, oh, well, last year, I improved in this, or, if it's something that you're trying to improve, or you're just curious about, like, I wonder why that one was high. Yeah. So I would recommend trying to see if you can become, if there is a portal that you can get onto and see results for yourself, that's helpful. Ask for a copy of the results, and also have them faxed or sent to you at home. And then follow up immediately as soon as the results are scheduled. Yeah, like make a follow-up appointment if you really want to sit down with your doctor and talk about them. And she says, over the years I've become quite knowledgeable about reading and understand medical test results. Because I've taken an active role in my health care, and because I like to know what's going on in my body, I make it a point in working with doctors and nurse practitioners who freely share that information. Yeah, you don't want to feel like your doctor is holding anything back, or like, oh no, it's in your chart and you have to request a transfer of all your documents or something. Like, they should make it easy. It's about your body and your health, right? Okay, so here's the Extreme Self-Care Challenge. This month's Extreme Self-Care Challenge is all about caring for your body. It's time to listen to what it needs so that you can schedule those health appointments that might be overdue. So I'd like you to do 2 things for the next 30 days. 1, and this is important, practice tuning into your body by stopping periodically and noticing how you feel. It's like if I sat and did if you're noticing, if I'm noticing this thing in my shoulder that's bothering me, then I need to do something about it. Maybe I'm just oblivious to it, but if I start tuning in and I note that, then it's something to mention to someone. And check in with your body. And then the second thing is, because caring for your health is an ongoing process, it's helpful to make a plan of action. So just like I mentioned my planner, maybe setting out I'm going to have this appointment and this appointment. I'm going to find a new doctor. I'm going to, just a list of things that need to be done. Close your eyes and reverse and review your body from head to toe. Consider your head, neck, shoulders, arms, and all that. So, do you need a haircut? How about an eye appointment? Is a massage in order? Has it been a long time since you've had a physical? Once you have an idea of what needs to be done, make a list of the top 5 items you'd like to handle over the next few months. If you're concerned about a particular item, then the first item on your list needs to be calling a friend or family member for support. Good suggestion. Yeah. Then, let's see. Post your health plan in a place where you will see it, and based on your schedule and finances, begin to book your appointments accordingly. Yeah. So the 2 things were tuning into your body on a regular basis, and secondly, making a plan. So there was a lot in that one, and I didn't even read everything. I read the main bullet points, but it's funny, I remember when we went through this book in 2018, I just wasn't normally going to the doctor. I would go, but I wasn't being an active participant in managing my health. And then the next year I decided, okay, I'm going to go, and I knew there were tests I had to do. I knew there were things I needed to do at the dentist, and so I did them all. And so then, ever since then, I've been really good about making sure that I have the follow-ups and making sure that I feel comfortable. I like her position about feeling like you're in the right place and that it has those things that matter to you. Maybe you don't care about waiting, or you don't expect them to call you back in a certain period of time, but you might have certain parameters of, right now, when I walk in, I want everybody to be in a mask, or I'm just trying to think of something that might be like your specific list of things, or I want it to be clean, or I want it to be convenient to where I live, or I want to be in an all-women's place, or I don't know, these are just off the top of my head. But you might make your own list of the things that are the priority. But again, it's you taking ownership of this as well and being an active part of your health care. So getting the tune-up, that was today's Extreme Self-Care Challenge. You can think about that for the next month. Maybe you can even take a step to actually make an appointment soon too. I hope that you're feeling healthy, and I hope that you can get on top of anything that is bothering you. I'll see you next time for a new video. I'm going to talk about the next book that we are going to be doing on the channel. I'm excited about it, and it's a great tie-in actually. I won't say more, but I'll just let you wait for that video. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.